All right, good morning, everybody. So my name is Kata, and welcome to Kata B Fitness, and welcome to my channel. Every Saturday we do a different workout, and today we are going to do mobility and stretch. And don't skip your mobility and your stretch workouts. I know that they can be considered very boring, and I have a cat with me today. I know they can be considered very boring and that you're not going to be getting the results that you're looking for because it's not cardio, it's not strength training, it's not HIIT, but doing mobility and stretching can actually help your performance during your workouts, and it can actually help improve your results. Not to mention that it is going to help you stay a lot looser. It's going to release that tension. It's a good way to release stress, and it's a good way to just help you remain active and remain at least somewhat injury free. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we'll have to see if my helper is actually going to help or if she's going to hinder. But we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to exhale. So nice deep breaths in and out. And today's workout is a no equipment workout. I did forget to put that if you have a dumbbell, you have the option to use it during one of the neck exercises. But if you don't have one, that's okay. You don't have to use it. You can use a water bottle even, just something for a little resistance. And then if you need to modify the workout today for some of the exercises, then you can absolutely grab a chair. Good, we're going to do one more right here. All right, let's roll our shoulders up, back, and down. So a lot of people like to do mobility work before their main workout, and that is absolutely a thing that you can do. A lot of people like to do it. I like to do mine at the end. That's just how it works out for my schedule and my workout. Stretching you want to do at the end when your muscles are nice and loose and warmed up. Good. We're just going to do nice good wrist circles. So consider your muscles to be like a rubber band. Good, change direction. They're going to stretch a lot farther if they are warm. So mobility work can help loosen up those muscles before your workout. Good, let's do thumb to index, middle ring, and pinky. And then stretching, like the 30-second holds and things like that, should be done at the end of your workout or after you have done at least a small warm-up so that you can warm up those muscles a little bit and they will stretch a lot better. Good, let's go ahead and bring it in. We're just going to do a very small little pelvic tuck. So we're going to inhale, little arch, and then exhale, a little bit of a tuck. So inhale, we're going to open, and exhale, we're going to tuck. So it's just think a little pelvic rock back and a little pelvic rock forwards. And this is a good way to work on finding that nice position for your pelvis during your workouts. If you don't want to do the arch and the round, I completely understand. I want you to belly breathe. So you're going to inhale, breathe into your belly. Exhale, pull the belly in, and you just won't do any pelvic movement. So you'll be here and then out. Good. Let's do a couple more. Good. And we're going to stand nice and tall, and we're just going to do a march. And if you can, I want you to pull your knee into your chest. You can grab behind the thigh. It's just a little lift. So it's just a pull and a pull. Good. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to take it back. We're going to grab our ankle, open up that thigh. If this is not something that you were able to do today, then I just want you to think about doing kind of a little butt kick, and you can add a butt kick and like a little bit of a donkey kick, if that kind of makes sense. But we really want to think about opening up the front of your hip without arching and rounding the small of your back. So we're trying to open up that hip flexor a little. So you just grab the ankle and you're trying to open up that thigh and trying to get it so that your knee is pointing straight down towards the floor. But again, you can just do a hamstring curl. Try to kick yourself in the tush. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're just going to tap it over to the side. And just do a nice, good reach across the body. And again, we're just kind of warming up a little bit. All right, let's do the same thing, but we're going to reach up and over to the side, waking up the shoulders, stretching out your torso. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Pull the toes up towards the ceiling. Have your heels pointing down towards the ground, and we're just going to start to do good hip circles. This is where a chair or a countertop is useful. Change direction. Good. And we're going to switch sides. So standing nice and tall. Toes up, heels down. Good circle. And then change direction. Good. Bring it into the center. Feet hip width apart, toes pointing forwards. We're just going to lift our heels and then set them down. So lift and lower. So the first series of exercises that we're going to do is going to focus on our head and our neck and our shoulders. And this is a good one to do if you have a desk job or if you find that you've been leaning over a table, doing a lot of cleaning, things like that. Even if you've just been reading for a long period of time. Good. Heels down, alternate toe lifts. My mom and I both sew. I'm getting into it. She's been doing it for a long time. And we both have a fabric stash. And we're trying to get our stash organized. We've both discovered that we have a couple of fabrics that we have purchased twice because we forgot we already had them. And so we've been working on an app, or putting stuff into an app. And so we've been doing a lot of things, you know, looking down and bent over, and you just start to feel that tension in your head and your neck. Good. Feet flat, spread your toes, and then set it down. So you know that feeling you get, like right now, like I'm looking down at my toes, and that weight of my head is putting pressure on my neck and my shoulders. So we're going to start with loosening up our neck and our shoulders today. Here's 2 and 1. I'm going to go ahead and stay standing. If you want to come to a seated position, that's okay too. Shoulders are down and back. Belly is braced. And we're just going to start by looking side to side. So just a nice, easy head turn. And while we do these, a lot of times our head turns and then our body starts to follow. Or if we're really tight, we turn our head and we find that we're actually turning our shoulders. And we want you to just move your head. And again, if you're really tight, maybe it's just going to be looking to one corner and then looking to the other corner. And then think about keeping your chin pulled back. So instead of going forwards and sticking it out, we want to pull it back. Focus on keeping your cheekbones over your collarbones. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to bring it into the center. We're going to do flexion and extension. So we're going to tuck our chin, and we're going to think about holding an apple underneath our chin, and then we're going to lift. And instead of just dropping our head back, I really want you to think, lift the chin and take the back of your head and try to touch your neck. So it's going to be a down and an up. So there's not a lot of forward and back movement. It's just a rock. So imagine that like a teeter-totter. Hopefully everybody knows what that is still. I don't know if they still have those on playgrounds anymore. But our spine is the center of that teeter-totter. And that center doesn't go anywhere. So our chin is just one end, and it comes down, and now the back of our head is the other. So now I'm going to have you change a couple of things here. What I want you to do is I want you to take your hands into prayer hands, or you can have one down on the other. I want you to press down on your chest. You don't want to press down on your neck, but press down on your chest. And I want you to keep your mouth closed. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to lift and then tuck. And you can fold your hands, but lift and tuck. So we're pressing down on our chest. That's going to help prevent our chest from lifting. And then keeping our mouth closed is going to stretch out some muscles on the front of your neck. And it's okay if you're not going really far. You don't have to. You feel the difference? I can feel my neck trying to pull up on my chest. Good, one more. Let's bring it in, arms down by your side. Now we're going to keep our shoulders nice and level. We're going to tilt our ear to our shoulder, going side to side. And as we do, in addition to one ear going towards your shoulder, I want you to focus on lifting the other ear up towards the ceiling. So it's not just trying to get the ear to touch, it's this ear goes down, but this one is going to lift. This one's going to lift. And this is like, for my musicians, my metronome or a metronome, where you just watch it go side to side. So just a nice, good side and side. So again, we don't want to, turn our head when we do these ones and drop your nose. It's all the things that when we're really tight, we start to compensate, right? So we have trouble going from side to side, so then we start to turn or we start to twist, and that's where we start to get pain and discomfort as well. Good. Bring it into the center. We're going to make the letter L with our thumb and our index finger, and you may have to bend your thumb if you need to. That's okay. And all we're going to do is, this is just a point to start with. We're going to pull our chin straight back, and then we're going to press it forwards. Pull it straight back, and then go forwards. And the hard part is a lot of times we want to tilt or we want to arch. And it's not giving yourself a double chin, but it's not lifting your chin up either. It's literally just back and forwards, back and forwards. And one way to practice this is to have your back against a wall and to imagine you're trying to touch the back of your head against the wall as well. Some people struggle with that, especially if you have a little bit of a rounded shoulder. And it's okay if it doesn't actually touch the wall, but just that mental imagery or that connection can sometimes help you think, oh, that's what I need to do. I need to try to touch my head to the back of the wall. Good, one more. And we're going to bring the hands down. This is the one that I struggle with. So we're going to stay nice and tall right here. We're going to go to the side and then the side, side and side. And this one, honestly, it makes me think of like the Bollywood movies, side to side. And I have to put my hands here and go side to side because I start to lean or start to tilt, because this is one that we really don't do very often. So side and side and side and side. And do you notice on one side that maybe you lean a little just to get it over, because that's the side that's a little bit tighter. So little lateral slides, side and side. And I don't expect you to get your head over by your chin or by your shoulders. Good. 2 and 1. And now we're just going to do a little half rotation. So we're going to turn and look to the right. We're going to drop our chin to our chest, and then we're going to trace our collarbone. Draw a smiley face until you're looking to the left and you lift your chin, and now you look center again. So again, we're going to go to the left, tuck your chin, trace your collarbone until you're looking down up the right side of the floor, lift your head, and then face center. So turn, tuck, all the way around and back, and now left, tuck, and circle. And now I'm just going to continue tracing my collarbone. So I'm going to take out the pause in the middle where I look forwards. I'm just going to go down and over, down and over. And I'm going to do 2 more. Good, and now I'm going to bring it back into the center and just a little shoulder circle up, back, and down. This is the point. If you have a dumbbell, because I forgot to mention it, great. If you don't, if you have a water bottle or a book, just something to hold on to that has a little bit of weight to it. If you've got your purse nearby, you can grab your purse. But we're going to take our shoulder. We're just going to have that weight holding and pulling that shoulder down. We're going to turn a little bit to the opposite shoulder, and you're going to tuck your chin, and you're very gently going to hold your head in place. And we're just going to hold it right here. Now release your head, and we're just going to very gently nod our head yes. So remember, that dumbbell is just kind of pulling down on the shoulder. It's not doing much. Good. Now hold it and we're going to shake our head no. So we've done like a little bit of a tilt, look towards the ceiling, and then look down. So really its nose is going towards the ceiling, nose is going towards the floor. Down and up. Good. Now again, we've got our little tilt, our little turn. We're going to very gently, again, place our hand on our head just to hold it in place. And now we're going to roll our shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to try to go for about 10 in one direction, and then we're going to go for about 10 in the other. So arm is just hanging down there. Elbow's pretty straight. It might loosen a little bit. And I am definitely a little crunchy on this side today. Good. And then change direction. I am using a 10. You are welcome to use whatever is comfortable. The heavier the weight, the more it's going to pull. So again, you can always start with a water bottle. Those are usually about 1 pound, maybe getting up to 2 pounds. Good, couple more for me. And relax, release the head, bring it up. We're going to switch it over to the other side. So same thing, it's kind of a tilt and then a turn, and we're going to very gently hold that head, and we're not going to pull on our head, we're just going to hold it in place. Shoulder is just kind of hanging down by our side, and that weight is just going to deepen that stretch, pulling that shoulder down. Release the head, and we're going to very gently nod our head yes. Good. Now we're going to very gently shake our head no. So we're still kind of keeping that little bit of a head tilt, like when we did our ear towards our shoulder, but now we're going to add in a nose towards the ceiling and a nose towards the floor. And I noticed I started leaning to the left, so try to stay nice and upright. Good. Now we're going to do that nice gentle hold. And again, we're going to start with our backward circles. So backward rolls, and this side feels so much better. Even though this is the side that I had to do therapy for a while, this one is much more stable. This other side, that was kind of crunchy, that's the side I sleep on now because I wasn't sleeping on this side for so long. So now my other side is kind of starting to act up. Good, and now we're going to change directions, so just going forwards. And here's 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring it up very gently. We're going to set that dumbbell off to the side. At this point, we're going to go down to the floor, and if you don't want to be down on the floor, you can absolutely kind of be seated. You're going to want to think about a nice, good body position because we're going to focus on strengthening your shoulder blades. So we're just going to be in a good hands and knees. And again, if you're standing, start with your hands against a wall. So that is where I want you to begin. But what we're going to do is we're going to be in a good hands and knees position. We're going to do our shoulder circles. But what I want you to do is start by bracing your core, and we're going to pinch our shoulders together, and then we're going to push to separate. So pinch and push. So squeeze them together and then push away. And we want to keep the belly in. I very often start to arch my low back here. We want to keep it pulled in. Good. Now we're going to look to the right, and I want you to think about doing backward rolls. So look to the right, backward rolls. We're going to do about 5. Good. Now we're going to look to the left, same thing, backward rolls. So it's just a little head turn, belly's in. Good. Now we're going to look back to the right, and we're going to do forward rolls. So belly's nice and tight. This is the one I struggle with. Good. And now we're going to look to the left, and same thing, forward circles. Good, and let's sit our hips back towards our heels. We're going to circle those wrists, give them a little bit of a break. So now we're just going to do some lifts and holds. So you can be on hands and knees, or you can sit back a little bit more towards hips towards the heels. But we're going to think about making a fist. We're going to brace our core, and we're going to lift our right arm, or pick an arm, lift it up and out to the side, count to 5. And then take it down, and now we're going to take the back of the hand towards the ceiling, and again, holding that fist, count to 5. Good. Bring it in, take it out, and again, you can be here, or if you need to stay standing, you can be here. Good, and then press it back. So making that fist is going to kind of help you tense up, tighten up, so we want the movement to come from our shoulder. Good, and down, and take it out to the side. And down, back of the hand to the ceiling, press it back. Good, out to the side. We have 2 more on each one. 2 more on each one. And down, press it back. And switch, and again, 1 more time. So just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down, and then take it back. And release. You can kind of shake it out. I'm going to turn facing the other direction. So again, you can have a little bit of hips to heels, or you can just do nice good hands and knees, bellies in. Make a fist. It doesn't have to be a tight fist, but make a fist, and we're going to lift it out to the side. And down, back of the hand lifts towards the ceiling. And switch, out to the side. Your arms should be getting about parallel to the floor, and that's it. And down, back of the hand to the ceiling. Good, out to the side. And reach back. Two more times each, out to the side. And reach back. And if you're having to stay standing today, this is one you really want to do using a chair. Good, back out to the side. If you're just standing, we're not going to get as much benefit, and it's going to work your muscles a little differently. Good, take it back. So try that standing position with your hand on a chair. Good, release. We're going to take it back, hips to heels, come back up to standing. Or if you need to, you can stay seated. And we're just going to do nice, good arm circles up, back, and around. So thumb up, rotate, pinky down. Thumb up and rotate. And of course, if you're a little tight or your shoulders are a little off, it's okay. You start with your shoulder movement. So up, back, and around. Up, back, and around. Good, 2 more. Up and around. Good, and now we're just going to go forwards and forwards. So alternate right then left, so like we're doing a front crawl for any of my swimmers. So this series you can do even just the beginning part before we went down to the floor. This is a really, really good one to do for your neck and your shoulders if you're feeling kind of tight. Good, here's 2 and 1. We're going to bring it in, shake it out. We're going to start to do a little bit more for the rest of the body. And we're going to start with nice, good forward folds. So what I want you to do is I want you to reach up and then exhale, and I want you to fold, and I want you to just kind of hang out here and do a little side to side sway. If you don't feel this comfortable going that far down, you can absolutely do a little forward fold and have your arms on the seat of a chair or on a countertop. Good, and then we're going to come back up. We're going to do that again. So big breath, exhale, and then again, you can do a little forward fold, just relax, and you can even just kind of relax into the chair, little side to side sway. Good, and then come back up. And if you feel comfortable going farther down, then feel free. Just depends on how you're doing today. Not everybody is comfortable with a head below the heart. If you have issues with your blood pressure, good, bring it up. Don't go that far down. Good, and then exhale, and then just take it forwards. So it's just a little hang, stretching out the back side of the body. Good, and while we're down here, place your hands on the floor or on the seat of the chair. Step it back into a plank, and you can be on your knees if you need to, but your first option is going to be a down dog. And then we're going to come back to a plank. So just a nice good down dog and then plank. And if you're using a chair, you're staying upright today, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to have a nice good plank position. Sorry, I'm a little froggy this morning. You're just going to be in a plank position with your hands on the seat of a chair or even on a wall. Push back into down dog and then come forwards. Good. Last one. Bring it forwards. We're going to drop our knees carefully to the floor, sit our hips back into our heels, and reach out into a child's pose. You can just continue to do a nice good forward fold with your hands on the chair, stretching out underneath the arms. It's really whatever feels good for you. You can add a little wiggle side to side. Good, let's go ahead and bring it back up, hands and knees. We're just going to do a couple of cat-cows, so it's very similar to what we did in the warm-up. We're going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale. Good, so in and out. And if you're standing or seated, you can absolutely do this sitting in a chair. So remember, mobility and stretching is something everybody should do. You just have to modify. So if you're not comfortable on your hands and knees, always try this sitting or standing instead. Good, and now we're going to do a side-to-side cat-cow. So we're just going to kind of swing our hips to the side, almost like you're trying to bring your side of your hips up towards the shoulder on the same side. So it's a little bit like doing a side bend, a little bit of a crunch, but we're just kind of doing a little side to side. You probably couldn't hear that, but my SI joint just popped a little bit. It's one of those ones where it's not painful, but you definitely feel it. It's kind of a deep pop. Good, back into the center, little circle. So inhale, center, take it to the right, exhale, center again, up, and then left. So just nice, good hip circles. Absolutely, you can do this standing and just do those standing hip circles. Good, and now we're going to go the other direction. So we go left, up, and around. Good, here's 2 and 1, and we're going to just lift up. A little bit of a core challenge, so sit your hips back to your heels, give your wrists a little bit of a break if you need to. But what we're going to do is challenge our core, but also working on a little stability here. We're going to lift our knees off of the floor just a couple inches. This is our bear. So it's tabletop, but knees off the ground. Now we're going to push up and back into down dog. And then we're going to come back and we're going to stop just a couple inches off the ground, back into bear. And then we're going to come up. And then we're going to come back here. If you are up, you can kind of do the same thing. So you're going to do a little down dog. And then you're going to think, can I try to drop my knees down towards the floor? So this is a little harder than you think it is. So you're like, I'm going to get down on the floor, but you're like, ooh, I don't know. So you're just going to bend your knees a little bit. So down dog here. Little bend in the knees here. Good. We're going to do one more. So down dog here. hold that little bend in the knees, a couple inches off the ground. Carefully set them all the way down. Let's walk our hips back towards our heels. You can take your knees a little bit wide. Right hand by your right knee, left hand lightly behind the ear. We're going to inhale elbow to elbow, and then we're going to exhale and open the shoulder back behind us. So elbow to elbow, and then we opened. A nice good side to side. If you're staying seated today, you're just going to squeeze your knees together, and you're just going to reach your shoulder forwards or reach your shoulder towards the right, and then open that same shoulder to the left. The challenge with this is hips, knees, and toes are staying steady. Good. Let's switch it over to the other side. Same thing. Push the floor away. Inhale, elbow to elbow. Exhale, and open. And if anybody is looking for chair-supported mobility classes, I do have a couple on my website. I teach 7 a.m. on Fridays, and I record it, and my mobility sessions are always free. Even on my website, there's no charge for those. You do need to do your email address. I send 1 email a week unless there's something weird going on. And you always have the option to unsubscribe if you don't like the content. So don't feel you're locked into anything. But I have a couple of chair-supported mobility exercises or mobility workouts, and they're really good. Good, last one right here. Bring it into the center. So we're going to take our hands out. Going to go back to a hands and knees position. We're going to lift up into a plank, and we're going to take our right foot to our right hand, and we're going to take our left knee down towards the floor. And we're just going to start and stay here. And we're just going to stretch out the front of the leg right back here. If you're feeling a little tight today, that's okay. Have your back knee a little bit closer, or you can do this with your hands on a chair, or you can do this in a standing position. So if you're standing, you can absolutely be here and just do your little bit of a stretch, or you can even have your foot on the chair and you can do a little bit of a forward stretch here. It just depends on how you're feeling today and what's working for you. Good. Now we're going to take that right hand that's closest to the foot in front. We're going to drop it down towards the floor, and then we're going to open towards the ceiling. So drop it towards the floor, open to the ceiling. So this is shoulder work. So the entire chest, so we're not turning. The entire chest is going to drop down, and then you're going to reach. And if you're really tight, you might be just right here. This is as far as you go. And you might only be able to open out to the side a little bit, and that's all right. Good. We're going to do one more. Take that hand back down, lift the back knee up, step it back into your plank, switching it over to the other side. Drop the knee down towards the floor, and we're just going to start with your hold. Now, when we do our hold, I know if we're really tight and we're trying to get our hands to the floor, we're going to round and arch our back, and I want you to try not to do that. So maybe that means you have your hand on your thigh right now, or you have your hand on your chair. I want you to try to hold that neutral spine position because we want to emphasize stretching the front of the hip. And if our spine is rounded and our back is rounded, our pelvis is probably rounded as well. And we just want to do a nice, good neutral spine position, nice, good stretch. And this is going to get front of the hips. This is going to get your inner thigh. That's why they call it world's greatest stretch. It gets just about everything. Good. Now we're going to try to drop that forearm down towards the floor, and then we're going to open. And I will say that I did this a lot at the ends of our workouts, and I haven't done them for a while, but we've been doing other hip mobility drills, and now it's much easier for me to actually get my forearm down to the floor. I used to get really close, but then I kind of struggled. On one side, I couldn't get those last couple of inches. But we've been doing a lot of hip drills in our cool downs, and I can absolutely tell the difference. This is much easier for me to do. Good. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring it up. So we're going to step it back. Now, if you can, your first option is to step it forwards. Legs are wide, toes can be out. And what I want you to do is I want you to drop your hips down towards your heels into a deep squat. Some of you are probably looking at me like I am absolutely insane. So what you can do is you can sit on a very low chair, like you can sit on a step stool and try to do a deep squat. Or you can just be here sitting in a chair and just do a gentle inner thigh press out. But I want you to make sure that we're not here, side to side, or we're not puffing out our chest or falling off the chair. I want you to hold that neutral spine position, open those thighs best you can, and do a little wiggle. Some of you might be very close to getting down on the floor, but can't quite get there. If that's the case, try rolling up your mat and putting it underneath your heels. So elevating those heels, if your tight heels are the cause, elevating your heels really does help. I wasn't always able to do these. It takes time and it takes practice. Or you can even sit on the floor and just do a nice good butterfly stretch. But I want you to try to open up those hips. Again, I know it's really hard. We want to round, but I want you to open up that chest. I'm gently pressing out on my inner thighs. Good. All right. And now we're all just going to come down to the floor. Have a seat. The last thing we're going to do is our 90-90s. And this is an exercise that if you're going to do one hip exercise, this is the one I want you to do. You can stay seated in your chair. So we're just going to take in and in. If you are not ready for this exercise, if you have problems with it, if your hips are super tight and they're just like, nope, we're not doing it. Option 1, go as far as you can and hold it. Just stay there. Don't do the side to side, just take it over, hold it, let any pain or discomfort dissipate, let your muscles loosen up, and then go over to the other side. If even that is a little bit too much, legs out straight, moving from the hips, windshield wipers, okay? You can do this sitting on the floor like this. You can do this sitting in a chair with your legs extended. You can do this standing, one leg at a time preferably. But it's not feet going side to side. It's hip, 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 and hip. If you're ready to progress it a little, and yes, I know we've been doing this for a little while, but this is a really, really good hip stretch. So take it over, and then take it over. Good, a couple more. Here's 2, and 1, and we're going to bring it into the center. Find a comfortable position to sit in. I'm not particular because we're pretty much done. We're just going to do cat claws and then spread, and you can add in the toes if you'd like. So just find a comfortable position. 2, 1, good. Nice deep breath in right here. And out. And one more time, big breath in. And out. And you are all done. So I hope you enjoyed that mobility and stretch workout. Remember the neck one, you can do that anytime. So you can do this if you're sitting at your desk or if you're sitting at home. Just kind of do that, just nice and gentle, turns, tilts, up and down, forward and back, side to side. Just move your neck in all directions. It's one of those areas that we can technically move it in about 360 degrees, kind of like our shoulders and our hips. And then the rest of the workout is a warm-up, not a warm-up, and the rest of the workout is a really good one to do on a day that you don't want to get a full hardcore workout in, but you want to do something. It's just a great way to loosen up the body. I hope you had a wonderful workout. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again in class. So bye.